You've got an interesting news about the finals.
Yeah, look, we really wanted to be in a position where we could brag that we've got a woman, at least one, into the grand final of the Young Farmer of the Year. And this year we have our one. It's only the fourth time in 49 years that a woman's made it through to grand final, and we're absolutely rapt. She comes from the northern region, in fact comes from Auckland, which is even better in our eyes because it really opens her up to being a role model to a very big audience. She hasn't even come from a agricultural farming background at all. So yes, Lisa Kendall winning the Northern Regional Final last weekend was brilliant news for us.
Is she a hands-on farmer?
Yeah, she is a hands-on farmer in a way. She owns a contracting business that services lifestyle blocks, does everything from fencing to shearing to, if you're a hobby farmer but don't really have the skills, she's your person to actually do a lot of the tasks around the farm, and has got quite a thriving business going.
Why you're excited, I guess, is because you consider yourself to be an equal opportunity organisation.
Absolutely, and we're seeing more and more entrants coming into primary industry being women, and yet we haven't had the calibre of people showcasing their skills yet at the Young Farmer of the Year contest. And as we know, women need to be very confident before they put themselves out there in the public arena. Blokes will give anything a go, but this young woman, 25, very bright, very able, and is going to do wonders for getting more people interested in the sector.
Terry, I'd love to see an end to Mr. Farmer, or when you're referring to farmers saying he. This is the thin edge of the wedge?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got to break these barriers down. Women are more than capable of doing anything within our industry, whether it be on farm, in processing. And we reflect that too also in the FMG Young Farmer of the Year. We don't throw tractor tyres around anymore because no one throws tractor tyres around on farm. The days of having to be really strong and that being a big chunk of how we test people have gone. And now, you utilise all those technical abilities, the skill level. Yet there's still a physical component, but it's how clever you are at using the things around you to make a difference.
How's membership going?
Oh, on fire at the moment. So, as you know, we've got different age groups. We've got Agri Kids for primary school age group, Teen Ag for secondary school, and Young Farmers. We're just about to hit 2,000 members of Teen Ag. First time we've done that. In fact, Teen Ag growth at the moment, year on year, is sitting at about 28%. And we've got schools demanding that we set up clubs for them. And we just don't have the resources to actually capitalise on that as quickly as we'd like to, but there is definitely demand out there. And at the young farmer age, that's sort of 18 to 31, we're now at the highest levels of membership since the mid-1990s.
So what suddenly changed? Because farming, from what you were saying, is becoming sexy.
Yeah, I think we're getting our message out there a lot clearer. I think we've been a bit guilty in the past of trying to be all things to all people and not really explaining what our point of difference is. And the idea of being able to link people who are interested in careers in the primary industry with other like-minded people, with industry heavyweights, to give your career a real boost is quite significant. But also, the social demands or lack of social ability for a lot of our farmers out there, let alone people working in rural New Zealand. There is a real need to connect people from a mental health point of view, which we've talked about a few times. But I think that message is getting through that this is actually a really good lifestyle choice as well as a good career choice. And the value proposition that we're offering members, the fact that we're connecting people, the fact that we're developing them in ways that are personal and professional, that message is starting to get through.
The days of the AirTech shirt with a collar up and a pair of moleskins gone?
Yes, to put it bluntly, and we're quite proud of that. And whilst we've got a good core of our membership are roll your sleeves up farmers, and will always be that core constituency of our organisation, we're very embracing of what primary industry is all about. And yep, there'll be projects and activities for people that want to do practical social things, but we've also got activities for leadership development and as I say, those career affecting areas.
Because there's families that you and I both know where you've got a member of the family doing law, one accounting, and one's on the farm, and they all work together.
Yeah, that's right. And all of these professional disciplines now overlap. So you want to go and do law or you want to go and do engineering, brilliant. Go and do those disciplines because the primary industry needs those kind of people. And also, farming, just using that limited part of our industry, farming has changed, right? It's no longer just managing crops and animals or growing grass. It's actually running a business, and the skills needed to take the primary industry forward from a production level is quite significant. So yeah, we're seeing people, there's a big body of people out there who are looking at changing careers in their 20s and 30s to go into farming because they've trained as a physiotherapist or they've trained as a mechanic, whatever it might be, and actually realised, wow, the way I'm going to get ahead in life is actually through farming, build equity, or just I want to raise my children in a better way. There's massive opportunities, and these people are actually adding extraordinary value to our industry. So we're trying to grab onto them as well before they start their journey and during their journey, because the impact they make is phenomenal.
You're excited?
Yeah, I am excited. This is a really good time to be in the industry. You know, I went to a conference last week in Palmerston North about future farms, and you know, you could absolutely get down in the dumps about the social licence for farming, the environmental issues, the NCAPs, the limits we've got of market access. But it's all nebulous because at the end of the day, the opportunities out there in our sector are enormous at an individual personal level, but also from a New Zealand Inc. perspective, how we're going to grow the fortunes of this country. And the thing is, I've got quite a lot of sympathy for the environmental movement. You know, I have no argument that things need to change environmentally. We've got to be sustainable. You know, we don't inherit the land from our parent, we borrow it from our children. There's a quote from Ian Proudfoot last week at this conference. It's a really good concept. If you think about it, you know, we've got to be able to leave the land better than we found it. And the best people to do that are farmers, right? So this is the next decade, I think, in terms of the next generation of people coming onto farm are going to actually do things a lot better than their parents have. And this is not to denigrate my generation and older, but it's just to show actually there are ways that can be done better, and the next generation have quite a social conscience. And I think we'll end up producing way better quality food with a smaller footprint, and it's the next generation that's going to take that forward.
So the city people are actually starting to fall in behind and back farming now?
Oh, I'd like to say yes to that. Slowly. And I think, you know, the press that the lobby groups that are anti-farming have way more airtime than we're ever going to get, and because that's just the way that media works. I've got no argument with that per se. I think what we've got to do is walk the talk. I think we quietly go ahead and make changes that make a difference. And the thing is, you know, there's all this pressure at the moment around the world about synthetic proteins and you know, all these advents of using insect protein rather than farming animals or milking cows. Actually, there is a real niche for high-end, organic, high nutritional value products that we already make, but take them to a different level that will command a massive premium. And the massive premium will mean that you can actually farm less intensively to get a better return.